There it goes. You can include that. Alright, what gun am I using today?
And my audio is included.
Perfect. I use an MW2 weapon, I think. Oh, is it not?
Oh shit.
Oh, I'm gonna have to spawn. I haven't customized many of my loadouts. Alright. So, what do you think about, like, is there a specific conspiracy that, like, you find fascinating that you feel like has been figured out already?
Oh, see, I like the petty ones, the small ones.
Oh,
Ta
yeah.
Taylor Swift conspiracy.
Alright.
Have you heard this?
I don't think so,
So Taylor Swift's, she looks a lot like the Satanist priestess who died, I guess, like in the 80s or 90s. I don't know it
Oh.
by heart.
Uh-huh.
And their images a lot together. So they think that she is the reincarnation of the Satanist
Oh, my
priestess.
goodness. Yeah.
And the images do look a lot like each other, but I mean,
Right.
of course, you've seen the media and you've seen what's going on in hip hop and modern music, where everything is kind of going towards the devil. Got a lot of symbolism there.
Right, right.
Illuminati
Oh,
stuff
for
sells
sure.
pretty well.
Right.
It's crazy. So yeah, they think she's like literally the incarnation of this Satanist priestess. But one thing I do know is my God, Jesus Christ, is the God of life and death. And when you
Yeah.
die, you go to one place or the other, and you don't get let out of hell.
For
That,
sure,
that is
yeah.
that is your prison. So there is no such thing as reincarnation. God, the devil cannot bring someone back to life when you want. He does not
No
have that
doubt
kind of
about
power.
it. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting one, but that does not surprise me. Um, One interesting thing though that I've seen, that's another one that I found fascinating. I'm gonna use this guy's gun. This is cool. Um, and I'm sure you've heard of it before. They try to say that the Bible actually teaches reincarnation, um, and that Jesus taught it specifically also. This one's a weird one because it's like it's obviously so false. There's no support for it, but it's people that have obviously never read the Bible are the ones that
Yes.
support it. You know what I mean? So like, um,
Um, Reincarnation is a fun, beautiful thought in a movie setting.
yeah,
It's not what it is.
right,
Because what it does is it really does keep you. It lightens any kind of decision you make in life because you always get another life to make better
yeah,
decisions.
for sure. Yep, and people don't realize that like even if it is true, it kind of makes God like the author of evil in a sense. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
like you know you get this like X number of time to figure out. You know, maybe it's an infinite number of time. You know, maybe it's finite in the grand sense of like you do it for 100,000 years, but like you have no knowledge. You know, now people will claim that they did have knowledge, but like for the most part, nobody has knowledge that this is actually so. So like it's kind of we're just in this like infinite loop of trying to learn, but we don't know our past mistakes. You know, it's just weird, really weird,
Yeah.
and it kind of puts the problem on God. It's like, oh, well, the only reason I'm in this loop is because God, and it's not because of something I've actually done.
So like, I'm having trouble remembering names. There's a philosopher, a famous philosopher. We'll go with colonial age, written down. He had a dream and he wrote about it. And he had a dream with Saint Michael. And he asked Saint
Right.
Michael, "What's the point of life? And what's the big
Hmm.
secret?" And what Michael told him was, "There is no such thing as time. There's only now." And the only
Hmm.
question you need to ask yourself is, if God exists, and what relevance does He have on your life?
Right. Right. Absolutely. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, they're over there too for sure. Dang. I should have went back on the other side. But yeah, no, it's really like I've heard people try to say, and I'm sure you've heard it this way. people try to say that like John the Baptist is Elisha, um, reincarnated. Because when they asked John, he talks about like the prophecy, and they're like, oh, see, he's the reincarnation of Elijah. And it's like, man, that is not what that text says at all. It's just like
Not at all. So
you,
I
you
would
could
say
not be more wrong.
if you want proof of reincarnation in the Bible, there's only going to be two people who ever got reincarnated,
Right.
and it was in their same body. It was Jesus Christ died and came back on the cross and rose again, and then Lazarus.
Yeah. Yeah, and see that, and the differences. Man, he's still chilling there. Wow. It is like obviously how we use these terms. The word reincarnation is like so you die, and you come back in a different body, and then interestingly is like when you describe the concept. So obviously Lazarus, he was um, just risen, and so then but he eventually probably died. Probably we don't know the exact times,
Yeah,
but he
that
probably
because
died.
that was his lot. Like he came,
Right.
he was faithful, he died, he came back
Yep.
again, and then he had his life. Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
And then like Jesus, his is what we call the resurrection, as in he's the first fruits of the resurrection, the first person to ever been resurrected from the dead, because he got a glorified body, as it states in the
Yeah, yeah.
book of Romans and whatnot. Colossians, as it Colossians 1:15 and 16. So yeah, this the entire thing in general is just a really rough claim to say that the Bible supports reincarnation, because there's obviously the verse in the book of Hebrews that it states man is appointed to die once and then comes judgment. So like it's pretty clear. We don't go in this infinite loop of
Yeah.
you know.
There's a bunch of those. So I suck at proper names for stuff. I tell you that all the time.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the biggest like philosophy one is that nobody else exists but you. You are in your own consciousness, and everybody around you is a life that you have led or you're going to lead. And so life is not over until literally you've led every single life around you. And once you do that, you actually become God.
Ah. So they is that kind of like of a what's the word I'm looking for, like a enlightenment type of deal?
It's enlightenment, but nobody exists in
Yeah.
the universe but yourself.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty rough too.
Yeah.
It's a rough one.
It's so funny. The easiest way to get out of that is to just be the other person on that conversation and have your own life.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like, oh, who are you talking to right now?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm talking to nobody. Oh, well, your argument just fell flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Really, a lot of bad stuff, man. But it's easy to see why people can like fall into some of these concepts.
Okay, so non-religious conspiracies. The
Yeah, yeah.
government puts fluoride in our water to keep our teeth clean and have dental health.
Oh yeah.
Well, fluoride has also been found to hurt mental processes.
Mm.
So the conspiracy is they did this to make people stupider so they can rule
I
them.
see. Yep. Yep.
Now, so I won't tell you what state I live in and what lab I work for, but I work at a laboratory. We
Uh
check
huh.
fluoride levels all the time. That's actually one of my jobs is set up the kits. Make sure every single water plant has the same fluoride levels.
Right.
It could be kind of true.
Right. Do this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've heard that one before too. Man, yeah, it's a tough one too for sure. I'm not sure where I would lie on it. You know what I mean? Where I would be specifically. Oh, I just heard somebody right on top of me.
So, as I told you last time, my wife, she gets a lot on TikTok and YouTube,
Let's
and
go.
it like
Let's
it
go.
like gives her anxiety
Uh huh.
because it's just like